Hey guys, welcome back here to Advanced Bass Fishing. Appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to hang with me a little bit. And guys, today, not to make it sound like we're trying to shove more chatterbait, bladed jig information down your throats, because I know there's a ton of it out there, but I want to do another little quick bladed jig video here in preparation for the season that's right around the corner. At the time of filming this video, it's almost the first part of February. And for me, bladed jig season begins in like mid to late February. Once that water temperature starts to get close to 50, they start biting it a little bit. And once it gets into the mid 50s, they start biting it real good. So I want to give you guys some things that work for me. It's like you hear a ton of information on bladed jigs, and we've done a lot here on my channels on 3 of them. But I want to give you guys, if I could give you like 5 or 6 tips on fishing a bladed jig that are more important than anything else, I want to go over them in today's video, because a lot of people have never caught many fish on a bladed jig. As good as it is and as successful that people have been with it, I talk to a lot of people that just haven't done that good on it. So we're going to help you guys out on that today. It's going to be a good info-packed video. And also, guys, I'm going to include my bladed jig links in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description. I'll put some of my favorite bladed jigs along with the, this is the Bassanova jaw tightener, which I really like too. I'll put their link in the description as well. And we'll be talking about the trailer that I use, which is this Zoom Shimmer Shad. I'll put that in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of the video too, so if you guys want to get set up with it. And one final thing, guys, you may have heard me talking about it. If you guys are looking, if you can't decide what type of a bait caster you want, you're looking for one for spring fishing, guys, try this Lew's Custom Pro out. I've been using this thing since last fall. I have never backlashed it one time yet. The first time ever. I've never fished with a reel before that I haven't backlashed. I'm not saying you can't backlash with it, but I just haven't yet. 11 ball bearings, smooth as butter, super nice looking reel. I'll put this in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description. If you guys would like to order one through my link there, it's a good way to help the channel out and get you a good reel, so appreciate that. Okay, chatterbaits are without a doubt probably one of the most popular lures over the past 15 years. I mean, there has been a lot of tournaments won on it, a lot of bass caught on it. I've had some incredible days on it. It's a fun bait to fish. When they're biting the thing, there's just something about it. You feel that thing thumping like that, and all of a sudden, boom, you get one hit it. That's why like spinner baits and crankbaits and chatterbaits are so fun to fish, is because a lot of times you have a really vicious strike. Not all the time, but they're just fun to catch fish on. And there's a lot of people that struggle with them that you don't have to, because I want to give you guys some good tips and advice it'll get you set up. In other words, it'll give you a foundation to begin with. Now, first of all, the bladed jigs you need, there's a lot of different colors out there. And I'm not saying, and there's a lot of times color makes a big difference. And a lot of times, you know, these oddball colors like this will work. But basically, if you're wanting to get started out and you don't know much about it, you only need 2 basic colors. You need some type of a shad pattern like this, a pearl or white color with a pearl or white trailer, and you need some type of a green pumpkin. It can be green pumpkin brown, green pumpkin orange, but something green pumpkin-y, natural looking color like this. This will cover 95% of the chatterbait situations you fish. So, you know, if you go into my Tackle Warehouse link and you want to order some bladed jigs, or, you know, the links I put in there, just start out with this to begin with. Get you a couple packs of the Zoom Shimmer Shads here, along with the bladed jigs, and you'll be set to go. The next thing with it is setting your rod and reel up, because this is one bait that really is important as far as to have the right equipment. Most of the time I'm using 17-pound test to 20-pound test, Seagar and Vizx line. Probably 99% of the time I use one or the other. And then you want some type of a long, medium action bait cast rod. I use that Megabass launcher. It's a 7'11" rod. I like the length of it. But the main thing that you want with a bladed jig, guys, you got to have a rod that has a fairly soft tip on it. You do not want a stiff rod. It's going to lose fish for you if you do. So even though this is a big profile bait, you want that medium tip rod, because when that fish hits it, the flex on that medium tip rod will allow that bait to get a little bit deeper in the fish's mouth, and you'll be able to hook it a lot more. So that's really important. Okay, the next important things that you want to remember is how to work a bladed jig. Now, there's a couple different ways that I work a bladed jig based upon, you know, the situation that I'm in, but I want to cover basically 3 different ways. If you know these 3 ways, you don't really have to do anything else. The first one is the most popular. It's just the standard stop and go retrieve. So I'll cast it out there, you know, let it however deep I want to fish it, and I start reeling it, and I'm just going like that. I'm stop and go retrieve with it. I'm not just reeling it steady, but I'm just doing some type of erratic retrieve. You know, it's typical like with spinnerbait fishing. That's the most consistent way you're going to catch fish with a bladed jig, is that stop and go retrieve. And the depth that you fish the bladed jig has a lot to do with like the water visibility, how deep the water is, how deep the cover is. But most of the time, I want that bladed jig close to the bottom. Maybe not on the bottom, but I want it within like a foot or two off the bottom. So I'm gonna adjust my rod tip and my retrieve speed to keep it close to the bottom. That's the number one thing. The second way, which is the way I caught most of my big fish on a bladed jig, is a pump and retrieve. Throw it out there, let the bladed jig hit the bottom, and just pump it off the bottom. Let it go back down, pump it off the bottom, let it fall back down, just like that. So you're letting it hit the bottom, and you're just pumping it up like that and letting it fall down naturally. Pumping it up like that, let it fall down. This is really good during the pre-spawn time of the year. It's really good if you have aquatic vegetation like milfoil or hydrilla. That's probably the best, that where it grows short off the bottom. But you can still use it on rocky lakes, that stop and go retrieve. And the third one is just what I call the burn and retrieve. Now this is when the water's a little bit warmer and there's cover shallow, like shallow lily pads or shallow laydowns. I'll just throw it out there, keep my rod tip high, and I'll burn it fast. So I'm getting the thing where it's just coming right across the surface fast like that. Those are really the only three retrieves that you need. Those will pretty much encompass everything. And also, guys, finally on this, or just another quick tip is setting the hook on a bladed jig is critical, because even though this thing has an exposed hook on it, I guess because the blade and the mass of it, you'll lose a lot of fish if you don't set the hook in it. So you do not want to set the hook hard. Say you throw out there and you reel like this and you get a strike, never just jerk back on it like that. You're going to lose a lot of fish. Try to be prepared for the strike. Try to expect the strike. And when you're reeling like that and you get a strike, just take a couple steps back and just start reeling. Just pull into it and start reeling, but don't whack them like that. That pull and reel technique, I talk about it a lot on a lot of different lure categories. It'll definitely add up to a lot of good fish for you guys. And finally, where you want to throw a bladed jig, throw it anywhere you think there's a bass at. That's one of the things that we have learned about bladed jig fishing that I don't think a lot of people realized when they first came out. A lot of people, when a bladed jig first came out, they thought it was for just fishing around grass and shallow grass, which it's really good. Any place that you think there's a bass, I don't care if it's a riprap bank, any type of rocky bank, down the edge of a boat dock, down the edge of a laydown tree or stump, just on bare banks, they will bite a bladed jig anywhere that they bite a crankbait, a spinnerbait, a jig, anywhere. Throw it anywhere. It doesn't make any difference. They will bite it anywhere. So anyway, guys, that's just a few tips that have been really successful to me. I've caught a lot of fish doing what I just talked to you about. Hope it helps you guys out, and we'll check in later.